Good morning and welcome to February in Scotland, and I have a very low sun right in my face and I can hardly see the camera, never mind think about what it is I'm trying to say. But we are in Anstruther this morning and I'm going to talk to you about a little adventure I took last summer with the Scottish Fisheries Museum. Now, the Scottish Fisheries Museum, as you may well be aware, is a fantastic institution that looks after, maintains and sails a little cluster of historic vessels, and it's a wonderful museum to visit. It's a wonderful place to hang out, and they have an excellent cafe, but more importantly and more specific to this video, they have an amazing team of volunteer helpers who actively look after the historic vessels, such as the Whitewing here behind me or the Reaper just over here. Now, both of these vessels are historically significant and are over about 100 years old. Now, the story I'm going to tell is that of my first outing with the Scottish Fisheries Museum Boats Club, and we took the little Whitewing here. I say little, she's 35 odd feet. We took her up to Johnshaven to join them for their fish festival, and it was a fantastic time. I really had a lot of fun doing it, not least because it was my first time with the Boats Club, but also because it was my first time aboard such a significant historic vessel. And what a fantastic group of guys and girls the Boats Club really are. I highly recommend that you look them up, give them a shout and pop along and visit and try and help out if you're able and willing to do so. But before I crack on and give you the full brunt of the recordings that I took last summer, I'll give you the usual disclaimer, and that is this is not so much an amazing bit of cinematography, it's more a lesson in what not to do and my own failings. I did struggle a lot actually using a camera aboard the vessel. It was my first time trying to make a video whilst actually sailing and motoring. And a lot of the material that I actually did capture was actually corrupted, usually by sound quality. There was a lot of lost sound, missing sound, so again that's my failure at that point. So there will be a lot of voiceovers, a lot more voiceovers than were originally intended to be there, but I hope that you do enjoy some of the footage. We had a fantastic time. Honestly, can't thank Andrew and Mike enough. We had such a brilliant time. And I'm really looking forward to the adventures that are to come this summer with Boats Club. But without withering any longer, I'll leave you there.
The last 2 hours of the ebb tide. With no wind, we would have help out of the Forth and round Fife Ness, and arrive in Johnshaven 2 hours after the start of the flood. Incredible weather we had. Absolutely everything possible. Torrential rain, thunderstorms, but calm seas, and as dawn rose, black clouds moved up north, and the sun started to rise on the horizon. 2 hours, we passed Stevenson's Bell Rock. This 36-metre landmark, 11 miles offshore, was built in 1810 and has a really special place in the hearts of us East Coasters.
behind. That's the cliffs just over there. I'm still heading on our straight tack up towards Johnshaven. Just about now, as you can see, we're starting to get a little bit of ripple in the water behind us, so we're getting a bit of a breeze building finally. It's been flat calm and we're about to get the sail up. Which of course we are very excited about, because obviously these boats were sailing boats. They were designed to sail, they were designed to catch fish without engines. So let's turn this around and have a look at raising the sail on the Whitewing.
Following an invigorating reach, we dodged a minefield of lobster pots and navigated the narrow entrance channel into Johnshaven at a hero's welcome, as the Johnshaven Fish Festival organisers lined the harbour and took pictures. We felt completely at home. I couldn't help but smile as the tide filled the harbour and the sun came out with the jovial Doric patter. After making the boat safe, tidying up, and a few hours kip, we are whisked away for the traditional golden bubbly Scottish welcome, and an amazing home-cooked meal before a shower, and then back aboard to sleep. We'll set up for the festival in the morning. The Outreach programme is an important part of fundraising for the museum that relies heavily on donations. It's also a lot of fun. We get to use these historic vessels and learn the skills of shipwrights, sailors and navigators, as well as develop our own place in our history by the sea. Guests are welcomed aboard, offered refreshments, and we share stories of the boats, the history and the workings of them. And the beautifully kept Whitewing is a firm favourite. 1917 by Jas Kadger and Gardenston, and then she moved to Curzon in 1942, and they continued fishing until the 1980s. She's a 33-foot baldy and fairly typical of the East Coast fishing boats of Scotland at the time. So we've just finished breakfast aboard the Whitewing and we've got Andrew making up the log. Had absolutely wonderful bacon and egg rolls, bit of coffee, and we've got the crew doing the dishes. Great. Standard. So we are here at Johnshaven today at part of the Fish Festival. We've got the Whitewing up behind us, Andrew our skipper over there, and we have Jim just talking to some of the guests to my left. We had a lovely sail up first thing in the morning. It was very, very eventful. We left at 2 o'clock in the morning from Anstruther, sailed through some torrential rain, thunderstorms, no wind, so we were motoring most of the way. We did, however, get the sail up roughly level with our Broth on the way up, but we got a nice sail for a couple of hours as well. So it's always good to get the sail up. We arrived in here about 11 o'clock, had wonderful hospitality, get ourselves all berthed up and the boat tidied up, so that we are ready for all the guests of today. It has been a fairly busy morning, to be honest. We've had lots of people coming through, lots of very interesting people, sharing lots of stories about the boat when she was over in Gurdon, up the hill, which was working out of there, just up the coast slightly. Lots of interesting stories from them, including a story about Mr. Loudon, who was called the Gondola, because he used to have a pole that he would push the boat around the harbour with instead of using his inboard engine, which I believe at the time was a Kelvin, so I'm told. However, I'm going to pass you back on to Andrew, who is actually wandering over perfectly, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what the Boats Club and the Fisheries Museum do and these outreach programmes.
Yeah, our mission here is to take the museum to the people, basically. So that's what we do as Reaper crew and Whitewing crew. So we're here at Johnshaven and delighted to be back. People in Johnshaven quite delightful, and it's a real privilege to come back and help them and support their fish festival. Thank you.
And after all that wind and rain that you probably didn't see because it was cleverly avoided by keeping the camera dry, we've fallen upon this beautiful evening to say goodbye to Johnshaven for a wonderful, wonderful time. Well, I'm below on the Whitewing and we are underway heading back to Anstruther. I've popped below to get ourselves a little brew. As you can see, it's quite a low headroom. The Whitewing is a fairly small boat, being a 5 feet baldy, 30 feet. But we've got all the modern amenities. We've got stoves, we've got berths, places to hang out. Knives and forks even. There's the foot of the mast. What more could you want?
We left Johnshaven nice and early so we could take the last of the ebb out of the harbour. Unfortunately, that meant that we then had the tide on the nose and the wind as well, so we were motoring the entire way home. Now, the wind continued to build throughout the trip, getting a little bit bouncy as we started to get towards Fife Nest, and then rounding the nose of Fife and into the Forth, we had it right on the nose again, battering the whole way. Under Skipper Andrew's skillful hand, we took her home into her berth, got her all tidied up, said our goodbyes and our thanks for a fantastic journey. So my biggest thanks to the Scottish Fisheries Museum Boat Club and the Scottish Fisheries Museum for all you do. I had a fantastic trip and I'm really looking forward to having another one. future. If you are interested in doing anything that we have done in this video, if you're interested in volunteering for the Boats Club or for the museum, please don't hesitate to click on any of the links, phone any of the numbers that I have attached in the blurb of this video. Until then, take it easy and I'll see you next time.